What I was going to do here is investigate a way of putting a stamped ink decal on the headstock of that guitar which has tung oil, because of my view that I would probably not be able to put an ink stain down and then cover that with tung oil, because I tried it once and maybe I didn't wait for the ink to dry, but the ink ran when I rubbed tung oil on it. But I've just tried it again, and you know what, it actually looks okay. It hasn't run at all. So maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe in future I will put ink down, but I'm still going to try this experiment. Yeah, I suppose it is an experiment. So just bear with me. So here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to get a coloured stamp onto a guitar. So I'm going to put the black down first, which I already have, which I now know seems to go okay under oil. And then I'm going to paint the rubber block with the colours that I want. And that's going to be a little bit tricky, but I think I could probably pull it off. I've got some, I say artist brushes, they're very cheap artist brushes, but hopefully they'll be fine enough. And I'm going to use some textile dye, which is designed for screen printing, but I figure, textile ink, sorry, not dye. I figure it should probably work here. Now I want the monster to be yellow and the guitars to be white, just like in the logo that appears at the start of these videos. So I guess I'm just using some of the excess dye off the lid, waste not, want not. I'll just paint this on and see how I go. I could have used just paint, I suppose, but why be normal when you can be different? And obviously it's important that I don't have excess, so I'll be wiping off anything that appears to be unnecessary. Of course, I only have to get complicated like this with brushes because I want two colours. I could make the whole thing yellow if I wanted. So now I'm mostly removing. Okay, I don't think it'll dry too quickly, but all the same I will try to move with some haste now to get this white down so that I can make my mark. Now I want to place it close to where the other one is so that the dark image will appear as a sort of shadow. Right, I'm committed now. And that went terribly. Okay, so this ink is just not going to work. That white is okay. Actually, that white is okay, but that yellow is rubbish. So for the yellow, I think I would be better advised to try paint. As you can see, that just is not opaque at all. But the white does look good. Live and learn, eh? Still, that ink can be used in some staining of bodies and so on, so it's not a waste of money. Not that it was expensive. Okay, maybe I look for, I think I'll look for an acrylic paint to do the job of the yellow. Watch this space. Well, as you can see from the mess down here, I've been trying to get that yellow paint to work on the stamp, and it just hasn't really. Not really. I tried white paint as well, but actually the white ink worked well. The yellow ink was just not opaque enough, and the yellow paint is just too messy. I've seen people stamp with acrylic paint on much larger stamps, but on this little stamp with these details, it's not really going to happen, I don't think. So I might try again in future with different inks. If I can perhaps find some metallic ink, might be nice, and I have seen some. So it's an open possibility. But for now, I'm just going to go with the black. So I'll put another couple of layers, put another 3 layers actually, of tung oil on the front of the headstock. Well, I thought I had been safe and checked this out over here, but I quickly found that when I started to rub more oil on top of that, it started to rub off. Not completely, but that's no good. I'm going to have to sand that. I won't have to sand too much because that's sitting on top of a couple of layers of tung oil. I will reapply that, but on top I will rub on the face of the headstock only a wipe-on polyurethane, because I have good experience with that not wiping off the ink. And hopefully that'll work. Let's find out. I've put on the first coat of wipe-on poly, and the ink has smeared ever so slightly. It didn't the last time I used this technique, but I think that's because it's sitting over a coat of oil and is therefore more, I guess you could say, movable. I expect that not to happen with the next coat of wipe-on polyurethane, because now the first coat is protecting the ink. So fingers crossed. So that's looking all right. You can see from the way the light reflects over the lettering that that surface is completely flat. The lettering is totally covered by, oh gosh, I should know, 3 or 4, several layers of wipe-on polyurethane. I made up a very small amount of wipe-on polyurethane. That's composed of about 50-50 oil-based polyurethane and white spirits. I'll just keep going until that's used up. So I expect it'll be about, I don't know, 7-8 coats, because I'm only coating the headstock face and the flat sides of it.